So I've reached an impasse in this game, essentially, where I have to kill half a day for the most part. I've done most of the quests I can think to do that aren't terribly boring. I need to wait till 9 p.m. so I can have a meeting with a guy in the apartment. Off the back of my last playthrough, I've cleared out this whole the curse of the haunted bookstore, if you will, with this lady who's got the failing business, who is using her daughter as a child labor to run her bookstore. Found out there is no haunted curse. Obviously, it's just because these are a string of bad business people. So I've done all that. I've done all I can for the Wild Pines. I'm stuck with the Everett mission because I can't go across the bridge until Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Thank you for the autosave there, very timely. And yeah, so that's basically where I am, killing time. I'm gonna take this flashlight out of my hand because it looks goofy, as well as these drugs, because they will kill me, literally. I have 1 health bar left, I've realized. But you know what doesn't kill your health? Good old-fashioned Commodore Red. Take a drink, take a swig, if you're watching. Hopefully at nighttime, not at 2:13 in the afternoon, like my Harry Dubois character is known to do at this point. Actually, in part 3 of this Let's Play, he's already had quite a few drinks, so this has been a big day for Harry already. I also bought those drugs that I was holding earlier from the thrift store guy, which I am going to have to go back and see. But before I do anything, I've got to heal my health. Jeez, it's always like it takes a second here, like it's lagging. There we go, I'm loaded in.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles.
I need that
nasal spray.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or...
I like to stay loaded. The first time I ever played Disco Elysium, I learned the hard way because I only had 1 health. I'd only put 1 in that category. And you can hurt yourself in the hotel room immediately, and I did, failing the roll check to get my tie off the windowsill. And just died and had to start the whole game over again. Very discouraging way to start any game. Although I will admit, I was intrigued. I feel like I'm holding my bag here, my trusty bag. Am I then able to? Yes. There we go. I healed my own morale there because I figured out how the garbage cans work. I am going to have to earn at least £5 at some point, as everyone knows. I owe lots of money to the Whirling Rags. It's 20 reals, sorry, not pounds a night. Well, this place is littered with bottles though, jeez. In England, they don't do that, where you can return all your recycling for actual money. And I don't know why, because it's a pretty brilliant idea. You essentially turn people into like a cleaning squad in the city. People walking around with bags and bags of garbage bottles. Sort of like I'm doing here, as I'm displaying I never noticed these earlier. They really are everywhere. Sort of is like Manchester, actually, in a way. When I first moved to Manchester, I was stunned at the amount of just garbage that litters the street. And then right in the heart of the northern quarter, there's this big statue of like a broom and dust bin. It makes no sense at all. It's hilarious. Always surrounded by garbage. Some more here. Hello, racist lorry driver. Hope you're doing poorly, I guess. Almost caught me there. Being nice to the racist lorry driver. Let's see, that was all the bottles I could find in about a second. Wait for this dumb store to load a bit. See how much that gets me. If it's 2 real, I think I'm laughing.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Well, I don't think I got 20.
Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle.
That's alright. That was a satisfying jingle. Very important in video games to put a satisfying money sound when you pick up money. I believe I had one more thing I had to say to this guy.
Right to work!
If you remember, this guy is sort of posing as a scab leader, but we've sort of ousted him as a Wild Pines mercenary, which when you ask him about it, he gets all serious. He was also really braggadocious about his, really braggadocious about his war crimes that he committed in Vietnam, so... Not Vietnam, sorry. Whatever this game's version of Vietnam is basically what he was describing. What exactly is your goal here, sir?
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates.
And you're unable to breach the entrance, huh?
Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guard's blocking the way to the access panel.
Yeah, I know him. I knocked that guy out with a spin kick.
And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer.
Head measurer.
Whatever he is.
You can't get by that guy? I got by that guy.
Yeah. I saw your ballerina moves up there. In a real fight, these acrobatics will get you killed faster than a bullet.
So stupid. There's no logic there. That was a real fight.
You caught them off guard. That only happens once. Even if you got him twice, or whatever. Now, he's alarmed. Standing on a narrow bridge. And me, man, are tired and hungry.
Who asked you, buddy?
Why don't you go arrest them instead?
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then, we charge.
This guy sucks, by the way. The man rubs his jaw, a perfect, lightly bearded square wedge.
He seems to be following his orders well enough for now. But beneath it all, there is a boiling rage and a dangerous carelessness. Do not be fooled by the programming.
Right.
There is a precarious balance inside him, keeping him in check. But it's shaky as hell, and he's tired of it all.
Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. Don't like talking to that guy, don't like talking to that guy. I wish I could just fight more people willingly, like sort of like a Skyrim or a Fallout where you can basically just fight whoever you want. What's this thought I've got? A sewer, a gateway to the river of filth. Can't go down the sewer, hey? That would be interesting. I'm sure Kim wouldn't be into it. Hey, another bottle. It's 10 real here, 10 real there. Pretty soon, got 20 real. I do want to try sell some belongings. Did I look at everything on this shelf of his?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Win her back?
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
I already have.
This sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy.
Inspect the blue uniforms.
They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
What are these?
Which ones? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
Alright. I don't really care about these figurines. I just thought there was something else I could buy, to be honest.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with any... Sure, let me have a look.
Access my pawn menu.
Anything else
Did
you're
I pick up
thinking
anything
of selling?
recently? Photo of a happy couple. No, I can't sell that. I don't know why. I don't know what this is. Rivershell Fair, summer 91. I could pawn Kim's pen that he gave me, which would be such a dick move. Figurine of the headless Fallon Rider. I'm gonna get rid of these postcards, because I don't know what they do. No one's told me anything about them. I can get a bit of money. Shot put ball. Oh, right! I found the shot put ball in the cursed area. Look at that, a whopping 1377. Oh, now we're talking. Now I can breathe a bit.
Another time, perhaps.
Just like real life, as long as I have 2 digits in the pocket, I can take on anyone. So with all that taken care of, there's a bum there. I don't think he says anything to me though. Oh, what was that? Sometimes I'm just moving it around to see if it catches anything.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Why am I looking at this?
Cop habit. You look at everything.
Visual calculus. I mean, that's not a good chance, but it's a 2. What do you expect? Let's go.
No, these tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away.
Okay. It looks like, if I had to guess, I was drunk driving here. And I just don't remember it. So there was more conversation to be had with Kuno. There always is.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Let's talk about the crime scene this time, buddy.
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it?
The dead man's clothes were in the trash.
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
I need to know. It could lead to a lead.
Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit. Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
Oh, wow. That's just an impossible amount of money. I was happy to get 31.
You'd have to be blind not to notice the giant white letters, F-A-L-N, running down his trouser leg.
Found. The one brand in this whole game that is just such a premium. What's so great about him, Kuno?
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists.
Pants scientists.
Believe it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic wrapped pants. They are graphite black and look brand
These
new.
could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness.
Maybe I do need them.
Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready.
What happened to his clothes? You must have seen them lying around.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around. Except for that you took away. Now you want performance gear or
Sounds
not, Grandpa?
They love the 6-letter F word in this game.
The lieutenant remains silent.
Or he does.
But
Kuno,
his expression
specifically, and
couldn't
Kunas.
say, "I told you so," any louder.
I might be interested in the pants.
Alright, Pico. Shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
I've already dealt drugs with Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
That's true.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
It doesn't really make sense if I've dealt drugs with him already. Quick aside, I was going to name this video Dealing Drugs to Kids, or the last one, sorry, when I did that, and I was worried YouTube would take it down, so I just did Dirty Cop instead. There's a mug in the trash as well. Let's talk about that racist mug again.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Does this quaint, better not taken out of its historical context mug have anything to do with it? Jeez, I've never really defended the mug so far, but let's see what that happens.
Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker, 'cause he's the clothes fucker?
Exactly, Kuno.
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
That's what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone's tampered with the crime scene, cleaned some of it.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation technique, too.
I love that he called him Mug Guy, and I love the term beat-down basement.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno! They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching! Get away from my Kuno.
Wow.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face.
The ladder, ever climb it?
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
So would you call it unclimbable?
Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
Kuno knows the ladder is unclimbable. The
He knows.
lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Finally, what about the greenhouse?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
What do you mean by kipped?
Look it up in the library. Kuno's not a fucking dictionary. Fucking small brain. Kuno means the gardener, alright?
She used to work there?
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno.
She's actually not a gardener. She turns out she's a union fixer. She tricked me.
The fuck does this have to do with the Kuno? Kuno doesn't give a shit who she is.
You were expecting relaying this information to him to be more rewarding, right? Telling him you found out she isn't a gardener. You know what you should do if you want to get rewarded? Drugs. Drugs are more rewarding than work.
Hey.
Or alcohol, if you don't want to do drugs. Alcohol is just as rewarding, but it isn't a drug. This has been going on for quite a while, hasn't it? You've been thinking about drugs and alcohol for a long time now.
Jeez.
Juicy drugs. Tasty alcohol. Seems kind of boring now, going back to... What was this about? Some yard? Yards aren't interesting.
Talk
Yeah,
about
whatever.
something else.
Kuno doesn't give a shit.
It is weird. So that's a great example of why I keep my health and my morale at least a couple up. Because I tried every other option there other than the one that was going to lower my morale. It sort of forced me to pick it. So, you know, you never know when you're just going to get bit in this game. As much as I do want to buy these, I'm going to be back under 20 and I don't have another shot put ball to sell, so... I'll be back.
Kuno doesn't...
Kuno doesn't fucking care. Alright, I should have expected that, to be honest. I do think I had a bit more business with Gart. Then I'm gonna sit on that bench there for a while. Any empty bottles in here? There's gotta be, right?
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight.
You're already set for the night. Your door is unlocked.
I already paid for tonight. Oh. That changes things then. Maybe I will end up with these pants. I saw another thing at the whirling.
Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
No. Alright, well... I didn't have to talk to him, but it's good information to have, I guess. I'm paid off. What's in this blue door again?
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock. It's painted blue. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery.
That's true. Everyone knows that. Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 years since this was painted, maybe.
I wonder where this door leads. Thinking out loud here.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
Out of duty. We might find something pertinent.
Yes. I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough. As a side investigation.
No, the door is a mega investigation.
Hardly. Anyway, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Now I do have something to talk with Guard about. That's how this game works.
Can I help you?
Oh, no, I can't. Wait, if I ask him about the whirling rags, maybe?
Another thing. Great.
There's a
I love
yeah, there we go. A mysterious blue steel door.
Oh, yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Do you know what's behind it?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frick warehouse, probably.
That would piss me off, not knowing where a door went for like years.
Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He runs his finger across the counter.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing.
I think you'd like to know what's back there.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage.
Oh, yeah, he's a big guy, Gart.
So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't found a key, so good luck with that.
Alright.
Yes?
Goodbye. I gotta say, I love getting a level off of a 5 XP conversation point like that. And I'm gonna stick with my strategy here of just pumping the ones up even higher. Get that reaction speed going. Because I imagine further down the line, people are gonna try to fuck with me quickly, and I gotta have good reaction speed. I don't really think I have anything to say to him, it's just a 3% chance. So I am going to sit on this magic bench.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
What?
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Oh. I can't do it while Kim's here. Well, what do you think we should do then, buddy?
What do you want to know?
We're in different precincts. Why are we on the same case?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
What do you mean, pal?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
You know what I'm in on? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecilic cop-off.
Tell me about
What's
it.
there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind?
The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
So it's a struggle on who runs Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
Yeah.
So, he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
So you volunteered to spoil it?
Yes. I'm an unrepentant spoilsport.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. I was sent to teach you a lesson in style. That must be it.
Okay. Style me.
Point to yourself, this is what a modern cop looks like. You should ease up a bit, you need more looseness. I think that might actually help Kim, let's go with that.
No, I don't. I used to.
Oh, jeez.
Plain clothes did the trick. For both of us, it seems. Now, was there anything else you wanted to ask about the competition?
What's
If not,
special?
we should move.
What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps, feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
Enough of this competition.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Why did they send me? 8%? But hey, why not?
Because you're the best qualified. No, that doesn't seem right.
Dumb brain, I'm good for nothing.
You look dumb if you keep the lieutenant waiting for 2.
Hey, you know, that was pretty sad. I took an L there. Why not take some drugs? Do I want that? What is that? Speed bottle? No, I don't want that. My morale will go down again. I like he looks around to make sure no one's looking, but Kim's just right there. And I like just, I think you only see the bottles when you have the bag in your hand, so I'm just going to try to keep that in my hand for a while. I know I could talk to these guys, but I just don't want to. Their quest is all about, like, lore and Revachol and all this shit. I can't be asked, as you British people say. CBA. That being said, I mean, I have been scared this whole time of just hitting a brick wall that I hit naturally the first time I played this game. Handwritten note from the fridge. I didn't interact with this earlier.
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Okay.
Does it say anything interesting?
The lieutenant leads closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active.
Read the note.
Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
I wonder who wrote that note.
Someone who owns a radio computer? My guess is as good as yours, officer.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
What's a filament memory, anyway?
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer.
Any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the iceberg fridge.
Alright. I should have read that earlier. I think I can go, I think there's a mystery to solve back there. Not necessarily a curse, per se. I like this lady now. It's no longer her store I'm coming for. I'm going to the back rooms. Nice to see ya. Creepy music for back here. I remember that's why I had my flashlight at the very beginning of the run-through. There we go. It's pressing the wrong button. It's foggy for some reason. Is it smoky in here? Not totally sure why. Is it muskiness? I went through everything on there. They were making an RPG and had their own races and stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Press play again.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident.
Alright, I didn't have her password.
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
Let's try the password for the production schedule.
Good. Please repeat the password. Received Fortress accident.
So
Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoke.
Is that what's in the ice cream machine downstairs? That's not an ice cream machine. An ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. I didn't even see all this down here last time. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here. Oh my god. How do I get through it? A secret room. I've never found this room before. This is so exciting. Maybe the game wants you to be bored, so you find shit like this. 2 rusty rifles are hidden above piping. They look inoperable. Is that the rifles I was looking for? Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. Oh my goodness, the plot thickens.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Look, there's a hole in the wall. Shine light in the hole.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Okay, I do.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Oh shit, this is a break in the case.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest. But one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
Maybe it's still hot from
an
being
old
used for murder.
Belgrave rifle, Revolutionary era, prized for its reliability more than its accuracy. The rest are probably Belgraves too, just too damaged to be sure.
This old Belgrave looks okay.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
Isn't this the same gun that fired the fatal bullet? Here we go.
It's the same type of weapon, yes. A breech loader. But it's not the same gun. This one's been out of order for years. I'm afraid our search for the real murder weapon must continue.
Fuck. What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Sure, but I feel like he doesn't like it enough. I'm not getting anything. Where are we anyway? What is
Seems
this?
like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Okay. So do I not even get a cool item or anything? I'm gonna get 5 experience points for finding the secret room. Am I missing something?
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment.
It means there are...
He likes this.
Nothing. Alright. Well, that's disappointing, I'll be honest. What's over here? Is this the ice cream? Here we go.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Turn the ice cream crank.
Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
What's an entrepreneur?
What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar?
Can I get this lid open?
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here.
Of course.
This is going to need something else. Some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar. You're just wasting your time. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective.
Equip the pry bar by...
I understand. I don't need the tutorial voice. Although it's not a super pry bar, I've sort of had my confidence shaken here.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine.
Yeah.
It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Well, that's disappointing. There must be some sort of super pry bar around here, maybe?
2 cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Unplug the black one.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
It's black. It's not like the red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say.
Fuck you, Kim. I've got a theory, alright?
This orange machine is dead still.
Right, that didn't work. Why not unplug both of them?
Only the red cable is plugged into an electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now.
I think it'll be for the better. Oh, wow. I can't believe how much I missed here last time. A insane mesh tank top? It's insane. Clinically. I sort of like my... It looks funny. But you can't beat that. Physical instrument +1, come on. Intercom wires running in the brake box. Is that an exit? Some coins here. A cellar window, people's feet shuffling by on the street. Counter here. More Nosafed, more money. With that satisfying ding you mentioned earlier. Alright, is this any different now that it's off?
The bear's eyes are dead and empty. Ice inside the fridge slowly melting. The power has been cut off.
Examine one of the ice cream
A
wrappers.
friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Huh. What's changed? What is the point?
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace.
Smear
A
my
lush
hands with
layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. Maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future archaeologists. No, that would be stupid. Still, it's good to have this dirt on you.
Alright. There's definitely a mystery in here that I've just not figured out. I don't know if unplugging it is the right thing to do. I have to get in there, I know that.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer.
Alright, find the super pry bar, come back here. It's a bit disappointing, I was hoping it would lead to something there. Oh, and of course, right up the front. Okay, now I can probably just go in that way. What else? What else? If only I had thousands of viewers who would tell me where to go next. Nothing here. I thought I could check the other lorries eventually. Oh, there was one.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia.
Insignia.
Fumes of heavy fuel oil waft over you, making your eyes sting. The odor mixes with cigarette residue.
What kind of stickers?
The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels.
Oh yeah, of course.
A large metal pendant hangs.
Racists love talking about purity. They've sort of like ruined the word for the rest of us, you know. Oh, some cash here. See, all these guys out of work, they don't notice they're surrounded by money.
Looking for something?
Right. I was hoping I could give him shit. It would be cool if Kim wanted to like punch out the racist lorry driver and I could sort of help him with that. Maybe bond us together, perhaps. Now that I know my bill is paid for at the cafeteria, though, I will buy these pants off Kuno just to make me a bit closer to him. And those are pretty good. Physical instrument and savoir-faire. That's got to be better than what I'm doing now.
Here, pig. We're fun now. Performance buddies.
Performance buddies. That's what I wanted.
Kuno could already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt?
Money debt? No, I'm not. I paid you. I have more questions about the crime scene.
The kingdom of...
No, I've already asked everything.
Whatever. Kuno doesn't... The fuck do you... Good call, Pigmeister. The fuck about it? Your tech...
Get lost,
Kuno...
I was just making sure I'd just tried every conversation tree possible. Have you ever tried talking to her directly? Oh, wait, what was that?
Can't believe you didn't take the shot. Fucking coward. Waved a gun like a clown. Next time you point that shit at me, you better take the shot.
That goes all the way back to the first part of this Let's Play where I pointed a gun at her.
This kid is way, way worse than the other one.
Wow.
Her knuckles have turned white, holding on to that fence. She's been here for days, seething.
She's fucked. But she's also not my problem. Let's try out these pants. I forget what I'm wearing currently, but they don't look like anything special. One composure. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, black jeans, but these are the obvious. Now I'm looking good, feeling good. Oh, who's that smoking lady out there? I assume I'll have to come back to her eventually. Anything else in the old inventory? Explore the whirling secret passages. I've got that down now. Where do I get a city map? I'm pretty sure that's something I can do early. And I've just yet to do it. Okay. Sorry, what was I doing in here? It's easy to get lost. Antique Belgrade rifle. Oh, I can pawn this rifle. That's probably a pretty good idea. I've interacted with most of this, I think. You can actually read books. 16 Days of Coldest April. I just wanted to make sure I've looked at everything to do with this bullet.
Sealed
yeah,
away.
I completely found out. The white envelope. Alright, I tried to find some legal loopholes in there. I know this ledger is just deep. You can do tons of it.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
That's not good. 28's not good enough, but... Oops, sorry. What if I smoked a cigarette? Raise that intellect. See, why isn't it in my left hand when I do that? It annoys me about this game. You need to be in the right hand if you're going to be consuming something. Boom. Look at that. That's what intellectualism looks like, folks. Cigarettes.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board.
That's almost
with
50.
The permeables drawer inside.
I hate that's how my brain works.
Together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
But let's roll the dice.
It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
That sucks. Browse the case
Arson,
files again.
Petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files. Commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41.
That's
Jim,
it?
the notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Judging by the creases on your forehead and the lines on your cheeks, too much more. Going back years, decades even.
I lost my own personal history. Kim, all my cases employ a naming convention similar to what we used on ours.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named the case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
Now we're relating.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
Wow, he smiles and says that. What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Yeah, look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Oh, come on. That's why we do this.
And something small inside. Light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers perhaps.
Something small inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
Man, if this is another just secret that falls flat, I'll be very upset.
There's pain in there, if you want some. That much you know.
How would I open it?
With your hands. U4 sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Interfacing. I'm just gonna see if I have anything that can raise my interfacing, clothing-wise. Like gloves like that. Come on. That's the only one. But that's gonna change it drastically. From 72 to, we'll see what we have here. Go back to this ledger. I love the banana peel that's just on the ledger that hasn't been thrown out.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board.
83.
With the permeables drawer inside.
It's the longest I've gone without a successful
then
roll.
made complete. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee, slowly...
What a feeling. I needed that win, I gotta tell you.
The slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know...
Slide the drawer open?
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's inside?
2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Pick up the ticket stubs.
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
Wow. I love a zoo and an aquarium, even though they're sort of sad. Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Open it.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. looped, round letters in a woman's hand.
Is this the one who got away that he's constantly pining for?
A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting.
It's just he's looking into it.
Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
Oh.
Throw it away, please.
But it will make me happy.
A merciful wind blows in from the Bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Let go.
What was that? Throw the card in the wind. I don't want to read this sad card.
No, don't throw away the baggie. There's dust on the drug baggie. It's not good, but at least it's some kind of way to be together.
Throw it in the wind.
Just like that, the wind picks it from your fingers. Cold, they let go. The wax paper rustles, a whisper light and low. Then a sudden gust raises the postcard to the drizzle-grey sky above, away from you.
Sorry.
A small piece of paper dances above Martinez, above slow waves crashing the shore, and the war-torn houses, and the new bâtiments devant alike. Above you, looking up to the grey sky, with your hair greasy and wet. And above the distant street and the 881, even above the old fish market and the church. Its material existence is lost. This great city will pocket it for you. For your own sake, forget about it.
I don't know if that was a crazy thing to do or not, but I hate guys who just pine over X's, you know? This guy's got to leave it alone. Stop reading these letters.
Synapses can be rerouted. The mind takes a new shape.
Knowing how much of a drunk fuck-up I am, she probably left him.
Under Precinct 41, where typewriters fire long into the night.
I don't care.
The wind carries the keepsake away from you. To the southwest, the pale violet dot disappears.
Yeah. Now it's the Ledger of Oblivion. I love that. What was in there?
No, you should not have thought back at it. Now some of it is on your mind again.
Oh, no.
The ledger of Oblivion-induced mental health is just as shabby as the damaged ledger was. A bunch of sodden papers sags from the clipboard in your hand.
The Ledger of Oblivion is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your hand for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Wow. So now already I have another chance at rolling, and instead of 42, I'm at 58 because Kim explained the system. I mean, it's now or never, right? I've been smoking these cigarettes all day.
Yes, at last, you find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
Wait, HDB 41, weren't those officers' precincts?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB, my name.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Perfect.
Harry Dubois, HDB. Still feels like there's something missing from that.
Fine then, I give up on Raphael. I never liked this name or this joke in the game.
That's comforting to hear. Now, detective, it takes half an hour to piece one of these together, if you still want to. Here are your options.
Murder at the hookah parlor, let's do that.
Murder. Tum-tum-tum at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Wait, how'd he die?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner, J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Right, on with the murder.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Wait, was he a good cop? That's what I'm curious about.
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about.
Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
I was a big fan of the hookah parlors when there was a craze that hit Vancouver. I was going to them constantly. Not even Vancouver, like the suburbs of Vancouver where I grew up. Can you get high off it? No, I'm going to say it's really cool. I know what it's all about.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer.
I'm going to heal up here, by the way. It is a super chic thing, these hookah parlors.
No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge.
He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his hand on the table, and died? That's my guess.
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
And what was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
I'm going to do one more of these because that was actually sort of fun. The Unsolvable Case. This one sounds tougher than that last one.
A.K.A. Leslie and Burke. A.K.A. The public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
I feel like I'm going to solve this one pretty quick.
You were so drunk, you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high.
Classic me. Smoke a ciggy if you got him.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. And you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration.
You can drunk tank him.
The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
The expression. I forgot about the expression. Can't we just keep him off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is.
Fair enough.
Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
This is wild, this wasted couple.
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street, because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie's exposing himself. Public indecency.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
Fuck that.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. The officer is also drunk. Way more drunk than Burke there. And let's be fair, you also have party eyes. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face, then proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Jeez.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. Killed them. They broke it.
Oh.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Is that how this
Which
ends?
is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
I can always revisit these. I might come back in a bit.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Was there nothing else in the
Without
hidden
resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see 2 ticket stubs.
I can say fucking kill yourself, asshole. I'll try that.
The words just crossed your mind somehow.
But who are they for?
Who do you think? You.
Alright.
It's slightly. Your hand shakes.
Well, that's how you pass 2 hours. Oh, is it no longer there at all? Where's my... Oh, is it a tool? There we go. The Ledger of Oblivion. Looks way better. The banana peel gone now. So that was great. Big success. I might come back and look at some of these other items. I might check out some books in the bookstore in a bit. I'm going to find a way to pass some time here. Get to 9 p.m. Only 4 short hours away. So I can have my meeting and then go to day 3. I'm going to try to get to day 3 and maybe just do the beginning parts with this run through. I don't want to just end the stream on day 3. And before I get back into this, just wanted to say, if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, I do Game of Your Life, where today I dropped an episode all about Super Bomberman with another comedian, Mike Keenan. So we try to tell some jokes, we try to reminisce, It's a nostalgic listen back about a video game with a different comedian each week. And yeah, I think you might like it if you like streams, if you like listening to people talk about video games. So, getting right back into it here. I am going to kill time in the bookstore, I think. And I need to get my proper gloves on. Put on some different gloves for the skill test there, but I don't like wearing gardening gloves just in general. I know they've got board games here as well. I've heard are a lot of fun.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes.
There we go.
There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Storekeep? What board games do you have here?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography.
That sounds terrible.
Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me?
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family.
She fiddles her pen.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
I might get that in a minute. I've never played the board games in this game. And I've heard they're good for both passing time and are sort of fun, so I might give that a shot. What are all these whirl things, though?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
Into those kinds of things? What do they mean?
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
She looks like those people that were anti-Dungeons and Dragons back in the day.
An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Oh man, I love a good choose your own adventure book.
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastic adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. Nonsense for anemic Beano-clods.
That sounds... I like the sound of that game, but it's more than twice the price. This one's basically just sounds like Risk.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
I'm gonna be fucked tomorrow for my my 20 real that I have to pay. Gart, but you know, that's something tomorrow me can worry about. Also, what was this new thought I had? A caustic hero. So not today, Dark One. I don't need your keepsakes. I'm not curious. Yeah. Maybe that's one. +1 for Volition, because it's a power move. I sort of like the sounds of that. Maybe I'll use my next level to unlock this guy. And become the Caustic Echo. Sorry, not Caustic Hero. Maybe that's just what my brain wanted me to think. Alright, tools, interact, my new board game. I'm gonna try play this with Kim, maybe.
In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work.
Like they just took... The other one sounded like Monopoly too, the economy-based one. Remove the plastic.
The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a bodice in a tawdry historical romance.
Open it.
There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Inside, you find a thick, full-color rulebook and more than a dozen pouches of various wooden components.
I do love the feel of taking a board game box off and that noise it makes. He just nailed it.
Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard.
Do I want to read the rulebook? I usually like to just jump into the game. I'll figure it out as I go. Hey, Kim.
The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
Oh, come on, Kim. This would be great. If we could pass 4 hours, then head to that apartment building. Alright.
What? Does the lieutenant hate fun? Is he the fun police?
Who died and made you the fun police?
The lieutenant gives you a sour look. He may or may not hate fun, but either way, he does not appreciate your attitude.
Maybe
Welcome
if I read the rulebook, I'll find something.
A game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel.
Keep reading.
The instructions are opaque at first and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, there are many diagrams and examples throughout. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points.
How do you accumulate victory points?
That's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol. As you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners.
Read the advice.
Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it wholeheartedly.
Sounds like Civilization, which I actually just bought Civ 6 on my Switch last night.
Boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old-school atrocities.
There you go, Half-Light. Half-Light's a freak, man. How is the winner determined?
The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now. You open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards with other cardboard components that will need to be punched out before you can play.
I'm punching them out.
Each cardboard token makes a satisfying chick as you pop it out. Soon, a neat pile of cardboard coins and counters has accumulated before you.
This game is just really like nailing the nostalgia of a classic board game.
Me punch any of them out?
Ah, see, Kim did want to punch some out.
In addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player, there are also several piles of colorful resource tokens, each representing one of the game's 4 principal resources. From the Empire of Safre, orange apricot tokens. From Ilmarat, the ancestral name of Ilmara, gray marble block tokens. From the Seminine Islands, white sacks of sugar tokens. And from Supramuindi and Sarah Maritza, magenta tokens for unprocessed cocaine leaves.
There we go.
Oh, those are nice.
Ah, the lieutenant's loving it.
You hold the open game box before you.
There we go. That's what I wanted. The intriguing components brings us to a 58, which, hey, isn't great. But let's give it a roll.
Have you tried goading him?
You just chickened out because you knew I'd crush your ass.
In your dreams, maybe. I've thrashed my share of trash talkers before. Now come on, let's put childish things aside.
Come on, it's gonna be one more roll. 72.
What is detective work if not an elaborate game? You need logical inference, attention to detail, the ability to analyze your opponent's motives.
Come on, it might help us think of more creative solutions to the case.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
Continue.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Alright. You've convinced me. How do we play?
I read the rules already. I'll show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you. In the center is the crown of Revachon. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress, in case you need to put the game away and return to it later.
Perfect.
The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
It's funny we just whip the board game and start playing in the store, by the way.
Alright, detective. Your turn.
Thank you, Ken.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns? Remember what the rulebook said. You'll want to choose a strategy early on and stay committed to it.
Let your workers rest a while? I'll do that.
It's the very beginning of the game. Your workers haven't even done any work yet.
Right. I thought it was the option for conserving them long term. Make them work a little, but not too much.
That's more like it. You produce a handful of archaeological treasures and a smattering of other resources. Meanwhile, the lieutenant spends 2 of his sugar and 1 of his apricot tokens to complete his contract card. He is rewarded with 4 coins and a round wooden token that he places in the center of the board.
I don't know what that means.
That's a market. It's worth 2 victory points.
Kim, can I do my first turn over? I think I missed, so...
Come on, detective. Don't be a spoiled sport. You'll have plenty of chances to earn your own points.
Alright. That's fair. I'll glower silently.
The lieutenant returns your baleful look with a satisfied grin.
I did shit-talk him into this.
Come on. Is that your game face? You're practically broadcasting your position to the lieutenant with that expression. Glancing over the board, you see several possible strategies. Pressing more workers into service would increase your economic output and help you to survive a possible conflict with the lieutenant. Or you could ignore your labor supply and focus on fulfilling contracts for points and resources. What do you do?
Press more workers into service.
Using your powers of persuasion, you convince more workers to join your cause. After several turns, your worker tokens greatly outnumber the lieutenants. A vast army of expendable labor is at your command.
Gaze on your workers like a harsh but proud deity. Deity?
Too bad investing in your workers just isn't worth many points. Take a look at the scoring tables in the back.
The lieutenant turns to one of the those appendices you skipped over earlier.
You see in Table 8C that investing in territorial infrastructure multiplies your final victory point total by 1, which is to say not at all. Whereas erecting monuments in Revachol gives you a multiplier of 5.
So you're saying I should treat my workers like disposable labor instead? So you're saying I fucked up. That's more honest.
Yes, precisely.
Now it's the lieutenant's turn to respond. He moves aggressively onto the Safre territory.
Oh no.
Soon, his workers are producing a steady supply of extremely valuable apricots. How can you let the lieutenant dominate you like that? You need to hit back, and hard.
I think I said in the first part of this Let's Play that I have a knack for doing terribly at stuff like this. This is a great example.
For several turns, you struggle to respond to the lieutenant's burgeoning apricot empire. Eventually, you relocate the majority of your workers to Supremawindi and Saramaritsa, where they begin producing a bumper crop of cocaine tokens.
Perfect. My druggy cop is making the coke.
You draw a new contract card. According to the text, there's an aristocrat willing to trade a large supply of cocaine for a number of coins and access to a rare bonus. Amplified music worth 7 victory points. Oh yeah, baby. Cocaine and rock music go together like cocaine and rock music.
I'm feeling
You've
it.
reached a critical strategic juncture. How do you respond to the lieutenant's aggression?
Rock and roll, baby. Go for the contract.
It takes several turns, but you slowly begin accumulating the cocaine necessary to complete the contract. When you do, it practically rains cardboard coins on your side. Feels good, doesn't it?
That's hilarious.
But you know what would feel even better?
You're gonna say drugs, aren't you?
Drugs. Specifically uppers. You should find some the first chance you get.
I do have more cigarettes, so I'll heal and then smoke. It'll make me smarter.
While you daydream about speed, the lieutenant has built himself a formidable economic engine of his own. The end game is upon you. How will you spend the vast resources you've acquired for the glory of the suzerain? Flipping through the manual, you find the most expensive structure in the game. The Revacholian victory column, worth 12 victory points. If you can successfully build it, victory will be all but assured. Alternatively, you could try launching a trade war to crush the lieutenant's economy, or you could blow all that money on a public education system for your worker tokens. The choice is yours.
For the almighty Revachol, I gotta go for the victory
Building
column.
the ultimate structure requires diligent economic planning, which you completely fail to do. Rather than build a glorious monument to Revachol's economic superiority, you have to set up a handful of post offices and school for the blind.
A handful of post offices and schools for the
A
blind.
risky gambit, detective. Sorry it didn't pay off.
I should have gone with more. I thought I was being consistent.
That might have helped, yes.
Read the tapes.
Now, let's tally up the scores, shall we?
Computing the final scores is almost a game unto itself. You each spend an inordinate amount of time making stacks of coins, consulting tables, and struggling with basic addition and multiplication. After double, then triple checking your maths, you have your final score.
Kim crushed me here.
15 victory points. The suzerain will not be impressed.
I've got 26 points. Don't be glum, detective. There's always next time. Figuratively, I mean. There's no way we have time to play this game again.
Fuck.
Now, let's clean up and get back to work.
You hold the open game box before you.
So no experience gained. No secret task of playing the board game I was sort of expecting. I just got my ass kicked after goading him into a game.
An intricate web of blue
Did I
lines
look
stretches
through this,
across
by the
the
way?
torso of the hanged. It
I
still
know I've
kind
heard
of
this
looks like a
before,
map.
yeah. I've gone through all that. Sorry, I'm just triple checking everything.
It's just a
lot of the
racist
times.
mug. What's there to...
I don't want to talk about the racist mug anymore. This book I don't remember being given.
You stare at the now familiar black and white rainbow.
It looks like I did though. It looks like I went through it probably pretty quickly. That's how good my memory is, by the way. It's on this shelf.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Oh right, that's the cop that I keep comparing myself to.
A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do.
Storekeep, what's all this crime fiction?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
She already got 12 of my real on that dumb board game.
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends.
I can imagine cops just loving this dialogue.
What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives.
Yeah, fuck that.
Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Sure, why not?
You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen,
right,
a killing is
Mullen.
declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House.
Jesus.
The Final Case of Dick Mullen. And obviously, yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns.
All the true crime. It's like when I worked in HMB and the reggae section was just different alliterations of Bob Marley.
Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And after all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen?
Sorry, got a bit of a cough here. Who is Dick Mullen? I'm gonna have to get this one.
Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence.
Why does this speak to me?
Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals?
That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy full of contradictions.
Then this is the book for you.
Fuck. I finally find a Dick Mullen book that's for me and I can't afford it. You'd think she would give me a break. It's a tomb of fascist magic. A tome of fascist magic? What is fascist magic? A quaint picture book brochure.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
I assume these aren't like our world's famous people.
You will attain a place on this shelf one day, or die trying.
That's right.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism.
They're really using this narrative to just shit on types of books.
Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's it about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Jesus.
Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long.
Fuck off, Placence.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time.
Yeah, time is commerce, you bitch. I'm trying to look for something to buy here.
Several maps have been
bought that
attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner.
What?
The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
This where I can get my map finally?
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Rivershell East.
And west of the river?
Houdon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
It sounds just like people describing England, just cities they hate.
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivershell Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest.
Wow.
No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something.
I just want one of these maps
I'm
already.
sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them.
What the fuck? Wow, why is she getting so
They're quite
hostile?
valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
But okay.
Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
I could try to steal it, but I wouldn't want to get in trouble. Ah, let's do it.
Slowly, you move your hand toward the map attached to the board. Before you even reach the map, you're interrupted.
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
Okay.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Less than £1 I should just purchase it. But what's in here? So let's
The
check it
worn
out.
map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
Trace a path.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun, and Martinez North.
Man, Ghislaine Maxwell's really ruined that name.
Finally, coming to a halt
First thing
on
I
the
think of.
spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
Alright, put the map away. Yeah, I know I have the... That's what I was looking at earlier. That's great. The cargo door impossible, Inland Empire. I can't talk to him anymore because he's gone. That's interesting though. I love that it keeps track of all the tests I can do. I should be able to do any electrochemistry. The mirror in my apartment, I'll have to go check that. The ice cream maker, that's what I'm also waiting to do. The map wall, my interfacing is pretty great too, so I might be able to pull that off now as well. So thank you, map. Giving me a lot to think about here. This is another boring book, just discarded here, right? Feels like all
This
the books, to be
bookstore
honest.
is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance.
Wholeness, unity, balance.
The point of the book,
Yikes.
and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
How does
It
that work?
serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance. on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Alright. Say anything else? It sounds like one of these hippy-dippy
The book features chapters on topics such
books.
as
What's that,
how to
alternative medicine?
find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver.
Jeez.
And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre- and post-factum apply. Nothing worth buying.
Nothing worth buying. Yeah, sounds like it. How to keep drinking if you're an alcoholic with a destroyed liver is so grim. What books are these?
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers.
She's crazy. Crazy annoying. Nobody wants your customers.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance. Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb... Yes, the wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies... Yes, the Simonees are very crafty. Yes, the Simonees are very crafty, and their wards are extremely powerful. Oh, this! There are numerous spells cast throughout the store.
How do we get out of this conversation?
Such a race may prove a formidable enemy.
The curse is so much worse. It's the curse of
I'm
financial
sort of over
distress,
this curse thing. I've already
of
sort of
ruin and bankruptcy.
sorted it.
But officer, there's nothing natural. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you.
Never mind.
Looks aloof.
Get me out of here. Remind me never to talk to her again. I hope the daughter's doing better, though. I think I did a good thing. One of the few good things I've done in this run so far.
Are you here for more books?
What are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh, I found something while you were away.
What
I
is
thought
it?
this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
Wow. That's great. Dick Mullen's hat. It's a detective hat.
Yes, just like the one Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that.
Wow.
Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mum notices.
I actually got a reward for once. This is crazy. That's very sweet. Puts my book smarts up one over reaction speed minus rhetoric. I think I'm gonna... This is a rare one I am sticking with just because of how cool it looks. I'm starting to look like Jeff the Drunk from Howard Stern fame. And it's the Dick Mullen hat, you know? That's the detective hat. I like it. I'm gonna stick with it. And while I'm at it, you know, I got this Pilsner left. Let's all have a drink. Speaking of Jeff the Drunk, in honor to him. Oh wait, that's your morale that goes down. Whoops.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Heimdall somewhere.
Heimdall. Sounds like God of War I was just playing.
This is entirely, completely you. You have found the right books.
Storky, tell me about the Muscleman books.
Oh, Man from Heimdall. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
She sells all this shit that she disagrees with.
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good.
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdallaman, the Man from Heimdall. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Unfortunately, I'm broke again.
Rows and rows of Heimdallamen blur your vision. You may be 100, Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels.
Do any of the books call out to me? What is this?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Ow.
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular Man from Heimdall in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. Between the throne and the Heimdall man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman.
Aren't all women devil women? That's pretty funny. I'll say that.
Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering
say the joke and I'm
around
worried
her
they think
abdomen, chest, shoulder region.
I'm like internalizing something.
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels.
Well, I'll have to read that one later. Again, I got no money here. Sorry to skip through, by the way. I know that's probably annoying if you're watching, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to be having this conversation right now. And I'll think it'll be a quick exit, but then it just throws curveballs at me. So I didn't even know what I was sort of agreeing to there for a second. Who's this fella, by the way? Oh, she's a woman. Sorry. You see a sturdy woman. Say, in my defense, sturdy. Humming to herself. She seems to be browsing books.
The ship takes off like a silvery mosquito, unfolding its rotor blade arms. She mumbles reading, then puts down the soft cover.
A good one? Point at the book.
Yes? Hello?
She nods, her attention fully focused on reading.
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Looking for something to read.
Phenomenal.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
Okay. I don't need to point it out to everyone then. Do you need my help?
What with?
She tries hard to focus on the bookstand.
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
That's right, reaction speed.
Help her by carrying things? Maybe she needs a weightlifter. Maybe she needs you to fight her husband.
Maybe your husband's missing.
My husband? No, he's not.
So where could he be?
I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
So what I'm hearing is you don't really know where he is.
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is. Not all the time.
That's probably healthy.
No.
She looks at you straight into the eye, her right foot is tapping nervously. I can totally help you find your missing husband.
Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
Kids are always going missing. Weak, pathetic kids. Always getting themselves killed.
Jeez. What a thought to have. No, I don't want to say maybe your children are missing, maybe your cockatoo is missing. Maybe your cockatoo is missing is sort of funny.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they get like this. It's better to indulge him at this point.
I was asking about your cockatoo. Is it missing?
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what?
What?
Even if I had, it wouldn't be missing.
Alright,
Great.
alright. What did you mean by me being a cockatoo?
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're so interested. There's a great book in the bookstore.
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your astral captain? Or your heraldic bird?
See, I considered not even clicking that because it's so silly, and it just goes to show you they could just lead to things like this that are really funny.
Wonderful. The store is open.
Nice, I'll have to find that later. Maybe your children are missing.
No, absolutely not.
So where are they?
Are you a policeman or a nanny?
She's definitely disturbed by now. Oh, jeez. Yeah, why am I... I say whatever I want.
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
The ladder of vices is sort of dark.
No, they're at a disco, getting down. Stupid disco dancing teenagers.
They're at home right now, right? Smoking cigarettes.
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Shamrock. There's nothing to worry about.
I feel bad. I'm just making this worry about
They're
our
almost
family.
grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
That's fair.
What is this doubt you have then? Something has happened here.
I'm afraid the danger is now greater than ever. Tell me, how old are they?
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them.
Can you describe me their appearance? Any features stand out to make identifying them easier?
Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Shamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party?
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
I could do with a party. A killer party.
A killer party? What is it with you and Pulp Staples? My God. Please, no more talk about my daughters. They are fine.
I'll watch her browse a bit.
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
Yeah.
An array of neurons fire up with joy. Bum her a cigarette, lest it turn to pain.
Do you smoke?
No, I don't.
I know for a fact that you smoke.
Why do you think that I smoke?
Your hand looks like they belong to a heavy smoker. That's such an insult.
It's not like yours look much better.
Just give me a cigarette, please.
I already told you, I don't have any. Go bother someone else.
She's lying. She's goddamn lying. She has smokes.
No, I don't want to push this lady, and Kim's gonna think less of me.
She sighs. The woman before you.
Alright. Well, that was uncomfortable. It sounded like her husband was missing, though. Look about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Memorize the title. Alright, well, we're nearing 9 o'clock. I was going to go to the apartment one more time, see if I missed anything. I might have raised enough stats that I could also challenge what's-her-face, that lady. Find a heraldic bird. Okay, that's what it was reminding me of. So I think I'm going to, you know, slowly launch into 9 o'clock here. If need be, I can always zip through a case file, get a couple experience, pass a half hour.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear about those?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
How do I will slay the octopus.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
Interesting.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What's your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
She's a middleman.
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
She leans back and rolls her eyes. How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
Interesting.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What are those demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Every over-aggressive commie posturing. Yeah, I don't like it.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Yeah, that makes sense. What does that even mean? Most of them probably don't know what that means. I know what it means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The worker can't be king. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers. What? That is pretty funny.
They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
That you know more about than you're talking.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
There you go.
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Wow.
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate, did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses to?
Don't let her answer it herself.
No, I mean scabs.
To answer your question, yes, they were organized by Wild Pines. The contractors picked them up from Jamrock and drove them over. This is standard practice. The company reserves the right to man its stations.
This one's interesting. What do you think of Everard Clark?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him
That's a
with
great
something
insult.
sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him.
Oh, heavens no. We get along just fine. Yet, now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black treacle just dribbling down his double chin.
That's Everett, all right.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
I didn't know he had a brother. There are 2 of him?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
That's wild. What about the union itself outside of the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Claire came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
Wow.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
an effective advocate for the rights of local working men? A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol? Basically a socialist mob? Basically a socialist mob.
Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
What's her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence. Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name. And I don't have access to the Union's files.
That is eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
That's a nice heads up.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
And finally, what happened with this Goemon she was talking about off the top?
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Goemon is short of stature, you see.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare. I might be a bit of a double agent here and sort of get what I can out of them.
You have?
She smiles
and
carefully.
How did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally. Time to choose sides.
He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. He is not the champion I have chosen. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. I'm a fence rider with this one.
Of course, detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself.
Verm, I like that.
However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
Yeah.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht. He asked me to open a door. He asked me to deliver an envelope. No, I'm not gonna... I want things to go well with Everett because I want to get my gun back. I want to see where it goes. And I don't particularly care for her at all.
Of course, detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
I'll see what this last one says.
Why, yes I am.
We're on a boat. Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft. A 19. My sloop? I like it a lot.
I don't really care about her boat.
It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
A license for this boat. This could be a fun way to throw her off.
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiled. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
Can I see your license? Oh man, this is great.
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
Still need to see that license, man.
Actually, you don't.
Pretty sure I do, I'm police.
It is a little known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license.
Oh, fuck off, Kim. Makes sense, I guess. I mean, look at me. More like the Anarchy Act, in my opinion.
No need to politicize this. You may still ask for the lady's passport.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see that passport.
Of course.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Seagent. The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you, face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Your name is Rejoice? That's a weird name.
Yes, but please don't call me that.
Why?
Joyce is much more efficient.
You're from Vesper?
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
I'm essentially just, like, putting pressure on her for no reason here.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Le Caillou? I thought we were still in Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Okay, right. That makes sense. Still haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial...
Neither is this.
No, I just
a
had
toy. Good.
Okay, I'm done with you, lady. I just had a bolt of lightning in my head. So there's a quest I saw, and I didn't know what it meant. Put the clothes in the trash. Victim's tattoos. Where is it about that? Read the watermarks on the ledger. But first I need to go to the Kinema, which I didn't realize was the car, and turn on the lights. Might get some information here. And I'm glad I talked to her. I need to, you know, I need to be better at getting all the information out of people. Because the conversation probably makes more sense to me too when I'm doing it like in the moment, meeting the person, going through all of the options at once. You can just pass hours talking to the same person. But to be fair, I mean, Everett's obviously a scumbag, but he's way more interesting than Joyce in this game, in my opinion.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
there it is.
The soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
How do I turn on them headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
Press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rouse per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Kenema comes to life with a whiny growl, like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time. The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done.
Perfect.
We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Did I do it there? Read the watermarks. Now go stand in front of the Kinema in the lights. Here we go.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
What could this be?
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
What about the next
The
one?
next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Count them.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200.
What about the last one?
The last row has 3 perforations. As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflexively contract 3 times.
Seems like something I've done before. Look at that muscle memory.
And something you'll do again before this is all over.
Look at the shimmering streak
The
grid.
rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Wait, look around you.
You catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle in the distance. Sounds. 2 men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window. In the middle of a broken plaza, illuminated in a cone of light, 2 men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
Ah,
Interesting.
Martinez at night.
Where are we on this?
Let me see. Right here.
Seems nice.
No, it does not.
Lieutenant says without optimism. And what do these holes mean, Kim?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
And what could this mean?
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
That's what I'm hoping.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Got drunk like a megastar.
Yes, that does seem quite likely. Your youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we?
Sure,
This
sure,
next
sure.
row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see...
Well, hundreds.
Wow, more than 200.
Wow. Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
See, Kim, I told you I was a superstar cop. Finally.
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row.
Alright.
You know the answer already. The tingle in your index finger gave it away.
Those are my confirmed kills. 3 of them.
That's right. How did you know?
Because I feel like a killer.
That's right. A killer of humans.
Wow.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
Well, thanks, Kim.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of his officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
I love it. I'm earning Kim's respect here a bit.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
He says, declining to elaborate. How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective, or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Maybe like tip-top racing?
Par exemple.
Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not take up a sport? You've already got that fan gear.
He gestures towards your performance gear.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Alright, let's
Right.
get out of here.
I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page.
Oh, that's interesting. I can see my statistics. There's a whole bunch I'm doing in this game that I just didn't know was possible that I wasn't doing. So superstar cop, sorry cop, boring cop. What have I done boring? Oh, I didn't take sides a second ago. I thought that might come to get me. I haven't said anything ultra-liberal or moralist yet. Good cop, bad cop, 2. People killed, 3. Cases solved, 2016. Wow, I love that. I never saw that before. None of the... It felt like last section of my Let's Play. I was getting tons of levels, tons of quest points I didn't realize I was doing. This one has taken me quite a while. Alright. Like, I don't even... I got a couple, or one level earlier, but it's really been slow going. But I'm a half hour away from 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go check that apartment building, give it a once-over. And see if there's anything I missed. By the time I get there, it should be around 9 o'clock. Worst comes to worst, I can solve a case file. I sort of like doing them, actually. They're pretty well written, pretty funny. Is it here? No. Got my head screwed on straight. I'll try never to be a boring cop again. I mean... What a brutal thing to do. Who would want to watch a boring cop on a stream? So, from now on, I will take a hard line stance on what I'm doing. Still, just very impossible for me to even attempt. I could talk to the cooness from behind. I wonder if it's any different if I'm on this side.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my sleep?
Apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind her back.
Pig's come to take me out, trying to snuff me out.
Jeez.
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Are you sleeping right now?
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so clever.
Yeah, I do think I'm clever. There's gotta be just something I missed, no? Is this guy not back in his house the next day? Oh, that's all the racist mugs. Yeah, there wasn't much else here, huh? This guy just hasn't been home. Alright. There's so much in this game, and it's so easy to miss, and it can be, like you see, in the smallest thing, the smallest dialogue choice, just throws you off into some different direction. Of all the apartments I've seen here, it's Kuno's dad's and the communists. Kuno's dad is still just laid out. Just in a bad way. Went in there.
You hear someone, a poor communard.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you don't have a warrant.
It sounds like Kathy Griffin.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
Later then, entering this door seems a physical challenge.
Yeah, next time I come here without Kim, I'm knocking the door down. I think tomorrow, maybe on day 3 I'm gonna check on the other side of the river or whatever. But day 4, when I don't have Kim, I'm gonna do all this stuff. I'm gonna make a list of stuff that I've been meaning to do. This chick
Hello
is sorta
again,
crazy.
officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I exhausted the dialogue with her because it felt like something would have come of it, and nothing did. Nothing up here. Very strange. I wonder if I'm missing things because of my low stats, possibly. Checked everything in her room, I think. Fire. Suddenly you feel the box is on fire. Why? What could that mean? Ooh. I've sort of realized I haven't been doing that in this. A lot of the items, if you click, it'll give you a description, but then you can actually search the thing. Maybe she'll talk to me about it. She knows I have her drugs.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
That's it. I knew there was some more with her.
They just might be. Rough stuff. If you take the ride, you'd be wise to buckle your little pig belly up.
I'm gonna have to take you in, kid, for drug possession.
In which case, they're not mine. And I have several witnesses who will corroborate my statement. They just might be.
Alright, well then I'm gonna ask her where I can get more.
We apologize. But we're currently not buying the entrapment you're selling. Please call again later. Thank you.
She smiles at her own joke.
If you're really interested, then I'm sorry. But I don't do anti-radiation drugs anymore, so I don't know where to get them.
Where'd you get these, then?
From a guy on Buggy Street, Porta Rosa. Go there after midnight, and you can get all kinds of funny things. Veterans of the People's Pile selling their stash.
Wow, okay.
She immediately regrets telling you, but it's too late.
Catch you later, Cindy. Even then, it felt sort of underwhelming. I feel like maybe later down the line there will be some sort of different storyline to do with her that I'll be able to do. She's clearly a fucked up criminal. Or maybe not. Maybe she's just some twisted kid. Got a bad roll of the dice in life, you know? Right now my character is completely sober though, and that's not the type of game I'm trying to play. So all I really have at this point are the drugs, or also the speed. But this puts my health down. And I have a health heal. Sorry, I didn't finish my thought there. Can't go through there, but I don't need to.
Give me a moment.
I have a few questions about those apartments. Oh, right. I never doubled back to her.
Ask away, policeman.
Do you know who lives in the foreclosed apartment?
The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
She really doesn't like those nut jobs. Bad blood there.
Why is there a hole in the wall in the abandoned apartment?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
Is one of the residents on a vacation? Their mailbox is overflowing. Yeah, right next to her there.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
Who's in apartment 10?
No one lives there. It's been empty for months.
But I talked to someone through the door.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you?
That's perfect. Now I have a reason to go in there.
Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans.
What can you tell me about Cindy?
The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still...
Leans on her broom.
She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
Who lives behind the padlock door?
Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
Suddenly the old lady's face is beaming.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Astrology?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall.
You mean the star and antlers? I think that's the symbol of communism.
The symbol of what now?
You know, the ones who support the working class against capital? It's an ideology. It has some noble aims, but it's also being used to justify terrible bloodshed. It's for loons who have no idea how the economy works. Alright, I'll say that because I'm trying to be hard-lined on something.
Economy? Why should anyone care about economy?
Finally, last question, just so I've seen them all. Tell me about the man who lives at the end of the hallway, Uno de Ruyter. Essentially Papa Kuno.
I don't want to talk about DeWieters.
Wow. Why not?
Addicts. All of them. And sometimes I hear them screaming.
Jesus.
They don't like me cleaning behind their door. Think I'm listening in on their fights.
So she doesn't. Not after that one time. There's a that one time here.
Definitely.
We saw unpaid utility bills. Aren't they going to be evicted?
No one likes them in this building. It's only because of the kids they haven't been thrown out.
Both? Oh, because of the kid, not the kids.
I don't like talking about those people.
She mumbles some kind of a response.
Alright, now let's go check out apartment 10. It was interesting though. It's like Dahmer's apartment, where she's just like, yeah, I've been telling everyone about this place for years, but what can I say?
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?
Excuse me? Of course not.
Scare them. Suspected of some big crime. There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official.
I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in.
Oh, come on.
There's a big pause before you hear the door being unlocked. I gotcha.
That was smart.
Lieutenant says. I actually don't remember what's in here. Wow, she looks like a Vault Tech employee.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see?
And then why wouldn't you just say that if you weren't doing some weird, shady shit?
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20, at least.
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
Yeah, I'll inspect it.
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Nice haircut.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
An hour? She's been here for days. Who lived in the foreclosed apartment down the hallway?
Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall.
Right. So preppy. She's probably on some low-grade performance enhancers, like Peptide or Pericanine.
A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
It couldn't have been that much money. These apartments look pretty shabby.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark, and they are affordable. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those radio computer wizards.
So what happened with the wall?
Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
What are you doing in here?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
I fucked shit up too.
Ha! Sounds like you've spent too much time undercover in some rock band.
Yeah, that's me.
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
She stops hesitating.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This story didn't have a happy ending.
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Of course.
That's all. No experience for checking it out? I'm just getting fucked left, right, and center with these bonuses, these secret tasks. Oh, nice. Black monk straps. That's cool, at least. A blister pack of medicines peeks out of the bar. You should take it. Hypnogamma. Ah, that's a new drug. I haven't seen that yet. Looks like a fine mattress. Don't be ridiculous. You can hear it swarming with bugs. My cursor's going to that guy's bust over there. Or can I talk to her about the hypnogamma? Should always check after any discovery.
What now?
No.
Of course.
Alright. You never know. You never know in this Disco Elysium. Whatever that means.
A plaster cast bust depicts...
Oh, I did go through all the options there. Let me see what those new shoes are doing. 1+ to indirect modes of taxation, affluent moneymaker man. Versus what I have now, which is just 1 composure minus savoir-faire. I don't like my savoir-faire being so low, so I actually think I'm gonna keep these on. I don't like anything that really minuses, to be honest.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tired feet?
You're right, beautiful people things do make people happy. I'm not discarding a thought or the shoes.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power. Crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember,
exactly.
When they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal. Ultra-liberal.
Well, I'll take ultra-liberal over communist, and I need to start...
Wow, you work hard.
I do.
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide.
I guess I do,
oh,
yeah.
Like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work.
What do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged.
I do walk a lot, that's
That
true.
is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride.
I fucking ride till I die, bitch.
That's just what it's like.
I love it.
Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco-Negros and the Solas.
What does that mean?
It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer.
Oh, and then there's pawning stuff off that suspicious Roy guy?
Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit, and then pawn it off.
And I got that
officer style.
Giant novelty check from Everard.
Wasn't easy getting that giant novelty check from Everard. Took some ingenuity to get into the harbor, but you got in, and you took that bribe as hard as any cop's taking it.
That's hilarious. I guess I made some gills. Jills?
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No, I'm actually not.
That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
This is actually, I'm starting to relate to this in a real way. I don't work that hard, but I am broke as fuck. The system is broken. There's a market for corrupt cops out there, where the immigrant cops have price stumped it. Fucking taxes, man.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze.
Really? Every time I sneeze?
Every time you wipe your ass. They got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, 98% of all your money.
I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. Alright.
Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue.
Alright. I've sort of taken a political leaning now. I didn't think it would be ultra-liberalism, but the idea of being a boring cop scared me there. I went from 2 options to 5 in the last couple minutes there. And I did a good cop, bad cop thing. I'd rather be a sorry cop than a boring cop. Jeez. Back on the balcony, almost 9 o'clock sharp. Maybe see if I missed some stuff over here. Damn. I sort of just expected that to open for some reason. Time won't just pass on its own. Can I talk to Kim, maybe? Talk to Kim, maybe? Oh, man. Put a skill point in logic to open this white check. Well, I'm not going to do that. It's a waste of time. I've even lowered my logic here with some kind of superstar. Just want to see indirect modes at -2. I don't really care about taxes, but...
No response. He just arched.
Have you tried?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
What's wrong with my personal affairs,
Not a
Kim?
fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the
Try work, the case at hand. Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
Your heart beats twice like a fist. The serotonin deficiency makes your teeth clench.
Thank you, oh wise man.
The lieutenant blinks, his mouth slightly open, and his body motionless. A microsecond passes.
Excuse me, I was lecturing you. I shouldn't have. You should consult a medical professional if you feel that you need help.
This habit of dispensing wisdom has been brought to his attention. A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on...
What about me?
I want to talk about him. I'm just literally trying to pass 3 minutes here before I can go into this guy's apartment. You don't look like other people around
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic.
What is Seoul?
It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
You're only making it sound uninteresting. I want to know more about this Seoul.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière.
Alright, you're wearing a Revolutionary Brigade jacket.
This?
Oh, there he is.
It's just seasonal.
Oh my god.
Where is this going?
Right at 9.
Let's not.
Alright.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Crazy. Directly at 9 o'clock, this guy walks out of his apartment.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from a cigarette. Now, of course, this guy was just yelling to up at the bottom of his balcony. And he sort of said some, suspicious things. But now we are face to face.
And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
That's just his look. The cleaning lady let us in.
Beautiful.
He replies smiling as he looks at you. Something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
Honestly, I'm just trying not to screw up. I'm not going to make things right. I'm going to make them spectacular. That's true.
Beautiful.
He says again, a nearby street lamp casts shadow on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbone.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Why would I want to meet your friend?
Trust me. You do.
Okay, this is weird. Going into his apartment.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one.
Jeez.
Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
That's sad.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
But I just found you again.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
That's true.
He's right. Only losers go to bed early. Time to break out the booze. A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
I love when Kim gets weirded out.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Okay.
Take care, alright?
Finally, a big one. That's what I've been waiting for. There's something so different about him that I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned?
His shirt.
Is Kim squints trying to hold back laughter?
His shirt. His shirt. No, I don't know why his shirt is always unbuttoned.
His mouth tightens as though he's trying to hold something back.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
He nods at the door before you. What the fuck? Did Kim and my guy start cracking each other's backs when you don't touch him for a while? I've never seen that before. That's hilarious. Oh, well, that's gotta help. Anyways, back to the game here. Wow, it doesn't even let me break their stride. I gotta allow them to finish what they're doing here. What the fuck's going on? Is this a bug? Okay, Jesus. That is so bizarre. Super Mario, eat your heart out. Falling asleep talking about lasagna. Oh, I should put something up before I get in here. Why is my pain threshold so low? Pain and endurance is low, but I mean, I don't know. I never get, like, hurt in this game. And the experience is already at 50 again. You know, I think I'm going to want to open up one of these. Because it has been a minute. Now I can take another thought into my head. Indirect mode of taxation. Caustic Hero, Jamrock Shuffle. I like the Jamrock Shuffle, actually. I think I might go for that. Or the Caustic Hero. Press 1 volition. It gives me... You haven't lost anything incredibly precious. Yeah, I like this, actually. Keep it balanced. Keep it on a stick. Let go of this shit. That caustic shit. Toxic shit, you know. Super overused word. But... we'll go for it. Alright, and here's the Sunday friend. Now before I get talking to him, I'm just going to quickly look around his apartment. See if there's anything that can guide me before I interrogate this guy. Oh, a Sumerian colonial hat. That looked pretty sick, actually. Empty ashtray. I love he doesn't mind that I'm just going through all his shit here. Anything in the fridge? Dates for open lectures at a local university. Flyers for underground parties. I feel like my guy would want one of those party flyers. An old photo of the same apartment dated year 01. Expensive men's perfume linger in the air. Oh wow. A party dragon silk robe to boot. Plus logic and plus drama. +1 drama, +1 electrochemistry. Fuck. That's awesome. It looks pretty stupid though. Versus my 1 spirit to corpse, 1 shivers. You know, I just like this look way more cool with the cowboy hat and the thing. If it was -1, I would stick with the bad luck. +1 logic, -1 suggestion. As opposed to, what does this hat do? +1 encyclopedia. Now again, I'm gonna stick with my luck. If I find myself needing electrochemistry, I don't know if I will though, it's my highest one. Okay. Would any of you, if you're watching this on YouTube, do you make decisions based on just how it looks? Or is it all about the stats?
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man in business casual removes his cufflinks. What do we think of this guy?
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
So he's suggesting I do the right thing.
Yeah, let's fuck with him. Who does he think he is? Assisting you?
Before we go, I have to inquire about the canopy. Show him the silk robe. So yeah, it's all stuff. I'm glad I looked at the room beforehand. I'm going to ask him about the hat. You have to tell me about the story about the Black Samaritan.
I got it from the head of the Samaran delegation on my trip to Lomantang. It's made from a special charcoal-colored bamboo. It's an emblem of the formal normalization of our diplomatic relations. That's really all I can tell you about it.
Cold air sweeps in from the balcony.
What was that? You were supposed to fuck with him, not compliment the decor. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
The man gives a solemn nod. Turn to the lieutenant. This is just the break we've been looking for.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Is it because you did it? No. Start from the beginning.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Ooh.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Well, we know he's... I hate... Sometimes things get ahead of... Like, I got the horse before the cart, or wherever that goes. We already know he was dead. He had a bullet in his head. They were hanging a body. Who were they?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But
we already know it's the Hardy
Let's
Boys.
just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
What happened next?
I went back inside.
Yes, back inside. Keep yourself safe from the killing.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched the guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Here's a question. Why didn't he call the cops?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging itself, did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Okay.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for.
This is nothing. I already know way more than this guy. I'm almost like, is it bad game design or like why?
I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us,
Feels
Mr.
like you should have been forced to talk to this guy at the end of the first
Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCF.
night. The Sunday friend. Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
How did you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend, too.
You still haven't told me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
The man throws a quick glance at his watch. Your friend, the smoker on the balcony. We were just talking about
But
him.
I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts.
What's his real name?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
I love just giving your name to a cop as grassing
He's
on him.
deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which art?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
What are you doing in this apartment by
I'm
yourself?
just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside. Isn't it rude for your friend to leave you alone like this?
We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this Epis thing you keep talking about? But that doesn't tell me anything about Kedra itself. Is it warm there, cold, something in between?
It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go.
All right.
Maybe that's why my friend's menage decided to immigrate. I'm all ears, officer.
What's an official like you doing in
The
Martinez?
coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
So you're some kind of bureaucrat?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
He keeps looking at his watch. It says he glances at his watch. Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
What is this international community?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition.
What do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol.
I'm done with this guy.
A moment, officer.
I gotta say, so far, pretty boring. Like, I thought this guy was gonna be some sort of revelation, him and the smoking guy.
Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
I shouldn't say boring, I just meant, like, I thought, yeah, I don't know, more revelations were to come from this. Hold on, why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
I'm not going anywhere, I just want to take a look around the
Sure,
apartment.
go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
I think I saw everything. And I also talked to that guy for all he's worth. He knew nothing I didn't know already. Time to go to the bar. Time to go to the Whirling Rags. Maybe have a drink or two. Speaking of which, oh no, I don't have any more drink, just speed. But hey, I haven't done that all day. I hope, if anyone's watching this whole playthrough, if you could do a count of all the times I've drank and done drugs. Just in the second day alone. Is this any different now? Is that where the smoker lives? There's no information. What's the opposite of the plot thickens? The plot thins. The sea breeze carries more than salt. Meat, not rotten, not fresh. Grilled. Who doesn't like a little barbecue, right? Other than, I guess, vegetarians. Alright, let's go to bed. I love everyone's just been here all day. The Hardy Boys in the back, the lady in the wheelchair, the chef. Who's this guy at the bar? Looks like I can't talk to him.
Can I help you?
But just making sure.
You're already set for the night.
I paid him yesterday, at the beginning of the day. This guy's been here all day.
It's you again. What is it?
Just making sure I was all done with this guy before bed. I'll never be able to do that. Me and Everett talked, he promised you'd cooperate. I found someone who saw the hanging, a witness.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this.
That's just contactee status. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and he's in witness protection.
Wow, that guy doesn't talk much, but he's cool. He's your Silvante of the group. My witness isn't a local.
Well, let's hear it.
Silvante. I forget
Who
how to
is
say
your mystery fella?
He's not alarmed by the sudden appearance of a witness, but he is surprised.
Should I just give his name up? I wonder what happens. Do you think they'd murder him?
You can almost see the blood curdle in the lieutenant's veins. Miraculously, he remains silent. Not only his name, but his address. You are a goddamn menace.
I just doxed this guy to the Hardys. Oh no.
So, some moral intern crony. What'd he tell you? I bet he had a dead hooker situation. If he came to Martin Mays.
He said it all looked like a surreal play.
That means absolutely nothing to me. Sounds like some made-up horse shit.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem?
sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky. It's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Kim getting into it with Shanky.
You didn't break this wagon fort, but you did manage to rattle the people inside a bit.
Arab guy? Boss, I think he's trying to save me and Theo.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there, too. I already told you. We were all there.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Yeah. It's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
It feels like there's no point in trying to circle them because they're
They
admitting to
wormed
it.
their way out of it, somehow.
Yes, enough of Charleville-Drouin from Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B.
An almost inaudible whisper from the lieutenant. Damn.
Oh.
Okay, maybe it doesn't feel like this did anything to them, but they have to be fretting a little. Everyone is afraid of witnesses. Witness is a scary word.
I wonder if talking with Everard would raise this number or would make me seem more of a bitch.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it, lawman?
That is it.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Why don't you push me more and find out, Gimp?
You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Turns his eyes full of hurt to the big man.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess I am, you big pussy. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out.
Wow. Now the authority's at 28. That's pretty good. Huh. I'm gonna see if I have any authoritative clothes. Any drugs that raise that type of thing. Oh, sorry, I was caught in a bit of a lag there. Okay, come on, authority. What we need is a higher authority in the clothes. And I think I'm gonna strike out completely. Nothing. Fuck. -2 authority. That's not great. Am I wearing anything that lowers authority? Sometimes I press that heal morale button accidentally. -1 authority. Don't want that. Okay. That raises my psych, and I've taken it, so I'm on speed. Can't take it again. Okay, this is as good as it gets. Let's see if I can do this.
It's you again. What is it?
Have to wait for his whole posturing thing. 42. Ah. I never get these on 42. I've had bad luck today. Maybe this can turn it around.
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
First, you tell me someone's being raped, and then you don't say who. That's bullshit. Cam, I need your gun. That's it.
Did
That's
you
all I
already
got.
try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent and has great results. You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
Why?
Cam, I need
This
your
is
gun.
not what he thinks it is. This is a great idea. I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either.
Everyone calm down. This is a demonstration. Oh man, I've
What
already
in the
failed. It's
name
gonna
of
make me
fuck are
embarrass
you
myself.
doing?
I don't want to give you my gun.
The fuck is happening, Titus? What are they whispering about?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
I know what I'm doing. It's not my first day on the police
Police
job.
job?
The pressure in the room grows to a boiling point.
Be careful, it's loaded.
Oh, jeez, he actually gave me his gun? Oh no, what am I gonna
Your
have to do now?
fingers wrap around the handle. The index slides into the trigger loop. Do it. Go. Good. Now put it in your mouth.
Put the barrel in your mouth.
What are you doing?
Short cold barrel touches your lips. It tastes like iron in hell.
Genuine panic flies across the lieutenant's face.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
These are my thoughts. This is my head. You'll never forget happens in 5 seconds if you don't respect me. Can I do this? I don't want to kill myself. That'd be terrible.
Fellas, the cop is really threatening to off himself. This is insane.
No, that is not what is happening. This show is unnecessary. Give me my gun, now.
I'm not fucking this case up. Finger on the trigger. You will respect me.
We'll solve the case. Look at me. Don't worry.
He
This
appears calm
demonstration is
suddenly.
not helping at all.
Inside the small mechanism, you can hear a spring tensing up.
Yeah, cause I sorta wanna see that shit.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
You better get ready to respect me in 5, 4, 3.
He's not gonna off himself. Come on.
No. He'll do it. Go ahead, son. 3, 2.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. No, give it to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. It's not too late. You can still spin this as some kind of tactic. There will be no spinning. Do the honest thing. Pull the trigger.
I really want to, just to see what happens here, but I'm pretty sure I would die. I'm backing down.
Thank you. Nothing to worry about here, people. My partner likes to play these jokes. He's what you call dark.
Dark? What the fuck was that, you carnies? We haven't seen RCM in 4 years, and this shows up?
I knew he wasn't gonna do it, though. I knew he'd pussy out.
No. I still have my money on him. Sooner or later, he has that look.
Wow, this Theo guy is interesting. The fucking horror left me, I know it. Ah, jeez. Yes, let's get back to the normal.
Do
Pretend
not
this
think
never
your
happened.
failed suicide attempt will win you any pity from these men. Do not expect them to forget it soon either.
Again, it was a dark joke. Maybe we should go for a little walk, Joker, before we continue. Jogging around seems to have a positive effect on you.
Yes, get the serotonin running. Keeps those bad thoughts away.
Alright. Well, that was a failure. I would have loved to have been able to end on that.
Sounds like you're the suicide cop, with his finger on the eject button, ready to let go of this life. But guess what? You idiot. You've got the bullet, but no gun.
Yeah.
You've made such a big show out of it too. You feel like everyone basically expects you to do it now.
I'm gonna be a suicide cop? I didn't even realize that was a possibility.
What is this? You're not ready to die. This is garbage. It would be the honorable thing to do. It would really show them. Show her too.
That's totally me. I am the suicide cop.
Oh yes. It would be so sweet to taste the barrel once more. That sour metal. Maybe there is a way. Not yet, but stick with it. Keep going dark, and it'll finally click.
Alright. Kim wants to talk to me. I assume this could be no good. I actually am going to be ending the stream with the end of day 2 here. It went a lot longer than I thought. These days are sort of split perfectly into 3-hour chunks, 3.5-hour chunks.
What in the name of hell was that supposed to be?
Oh, jeez, he's mad.
The theatrical suicide attempt. We need to talk about it.
Do we have to?
We do. I was able to recontextualize it as a dark joke. I will not be able to recontextualize it the next time. I understand you sometimes employ extreme interrogation tactics, but I want you to understand, that was too extreme.
Oh, I'm too extreme.
We can't have RCM officers going around putting guns in their mouths. We can't afford to have that image. Few institutions can.
I wish to embrace the gloaming ahead of time. The undoing of the atoms called to me.
The gloaming? Now, that's exactly what we can't have. Couldn't have put it better myself. I will need to recontextualize the hell out of that. Now let's go. And let's keep guns out of our mouth. And not say anything about any gloaming or anything like that.
Well, Kim's not having it. I think everyone here is pretty fed up with my character. I have made no friends. Kim is probably the closest thing. He doesn't come into my room, which is nice. If I have this bag, will I pick up the bottle on my own floor? Oh, hello, Ivysaur. You're catching me right at the end of a stream here. Just got to my room and remembered there's tons of bottles to be picked up. That was a pretty interesting day too. I got a lot of things done, you know. I played that board game. Made a few friends, found a bunch of clothes. I think day 3 is gonna have a lot in store just because you unlock like basically the second part of the map. There's just so much going on there. Have I not looked at this window yet? Is there something I could do?
The window stands broken. You see some lights shimmering outside, but it's difficult to make out the outlines of the buildings below. Dark phantoms with many tiny eyes, chaotically arranged and not looking at you.
Alright, what's going on?
You see some lights shimmering outside. You see some light.
Oh, that's just the same thing over and over. Okay. I thought I'd be able to, like, reconstruct what happened there. Just a series of bottles. Before I go, I was wondering...
A mirror hangs on the bathroom
is
wall.
there anything I can do here better?
In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Oh, with chain cutters I might be able to fix this. My character's very pilled out. It is sort of my mantra in this game. Now is the suicide cop more than ever, I guess.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
72,
In it,
that's
your
not
face,
too bad.
adorned with the expression.
And I think I have something that puts my interfacing up. Are they these glasses? No, that's electrochemistry. Although I should put those on. I like these more though. Logic and authority. Where's the one? Oh no. I guess not.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
72, come on.
The faucet is quite terribly
Got one,
mangled,
finally.
but you just might be able to twist its parts into place. You handle the chain cutters deftly, applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops.
I love
Told
having
you
the
that
win.
you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it.
Beautiful. I'll leave it for now. Go to bed, and then that will be
The bed
the
is
end.
still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting.
Go to sleep.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
Jeez, this is weird and dark.
There's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing.
Oh no, am I dying from all my drug use and alcoholism? I'm an artist and liver damage is my art. Man, truer words never spoken.
Oh yeah, baby. Frame your suffering as a masterpiece. Only one problem. No one's watching. It's boring, buddy. Boring as death.
This is a perfect analogy for someone
You're just
doing
stuck
a stream
here
no one's really watching.
in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Just get me out of here to the other place.
Oh, baby boy, you're already in the other place. There's no nourishment for you tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe if you know, like, took a lot of drugs before you go to sleep, that'd do the trick.
I did do that.
Maybe if you weren't so hard on yourself.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Jeez.
Let it. Let it.
Ancient reptilian brain.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings.
Rock and roll.
Rock and rock.
Here I am at the next day, healed from my sleep, and that is where I will leave it off. What a great game. Even when it's boring, I don't know, I have fun with this game. I know a lot of people really do hate it for the dead periods. Me personally, having a lot of fun. If you like any of this, like what you're watching, you know people who like streams, maybe send them a link. Please subscribe to this channel. Go to my YouTube channel as well. And give that a like, subscribe, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. The YouTube's at FunnyJordanD as well as my Twitch. And yeah, anyone who's watched up to this point, thanks for supporting Game of Your Life podcast. GeoWildPod on Twitter, FunnyJordanD on Twitter. Sorry for all the plugs. I appreciate you.